On this episode, we discuss, can you sue the previous owner of your property if the neighborhood ends up being too noisy? And should you let the buyer of your property move in before you close escrow?
You ask real estate questions, and I answer them. This is the Ask Daniel Los Angeles Show.
Welcome everybody to episode 35 of the Ask Daniel Los Angeles Show. We got 4 questions for you lined up, so let's get started.
Lisa asks, can I sue the previous homeowner if the neighborhood where the home is located in turns out to be very noisy?
Here is all the paperwork that is involved when you purchase a property. And some of this paperwork refers specifically what you're talking to. They're called the seller disclosures, where they discuss noise level in the neighborhood. So let me read to you one part of it. Noise levels and types of noise that bother one person may be acceptable to others. Buyer is advised to satisfy him or herself regarding to any source of and any amounts of noise at different times of day and night. So by the sellers telling you this up front and you signing this particular document, it's going to be very hard for you to sue the seller, because they told you up front before you even closed escrow that you're aware that there could be noise levels and that you should check it out. So can you sue them? Yeah, you can sue them, but this document is here specifically to protect them from you, the buyer, who wants to claim that frivolous lawsuit.
Roberto and Sarah ask, the buyers for my home want to move in before we close escrow. Should we let them?
You should never, ever let the buyer of your home move in before you close escrow. Because if they move in and they damage the home, guess what? You haven't closed escrow yet. That's still your property. So you're responsible for those damages. Let's say they burn the house down. They could back out of the deal. They no longer buy the pile of ashes that are left over from the fire that they created at the house. And now you're stuck with it. And now you got to go through insurance and do that whole thing. Don't let the buyer move in, because it could cause nothing but problems. Don't even give them a copy of the key until you close escrow. Once you officially recorded escrow, then you give them the key. They can do whatever they want after that. But before then, it's just too risky.
Brian asks, I need to drill a couple of holes to install a security camera outside my condo door. Do I need to have that approved by the HOA?
You're living at a condo, you want to do some modifications to the outside, you want to put up a security camera, you have to get HOA approval. So they want all of the units from the outside to look exactly the same. So you can take it to the HOA, ask them if you're allowed to do it. It's up to the discretion of the HOA board if they want to let you do it or not. But they could say no. You know, that's the beauty of living at a condo. You live under these rules and regulations where they might not let you do what you want to do. You might not even be able to change the paint color of your front door without their approval. So you got to ask the HOA, ask them for approval, and hopefully they will let you do it.
Hubert asks, is doing a final walkthrough a requirement?
Within 5 days of closing escrow on your property, you're allowed to do a final walkthrough of the property. You are doing that walkthrough not as an inspection or a contingency. You're doing it as a way to make sure that the property is in the same condition as to when you submitted your offer 30, 45 days prior to that. And so you don't have to do this walkthrough. I do recommend doing it though, because what if the seller had a going away party and they ended up putting holes in the walls and things like that? You want to make sure that you do that walkthrough to see any damage that's been done to the property, because you don't want to show up after you close escrow and be surprised by anything. So I highly recommend it, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. That is it for episode 35 of the Ask Daniel Los Angeles Show. Come follow me on Instagram. We have over 20,000 followers. That's where I put all of my real estate content up on there. You keep asking real estate questions and I'll keep answering them.